Roosevelt signed Executive Order 9066, forcing the evacuation of all people of Japanese ancestry. They had between 4 days to 2 weeks to wind up their affairs before reporting to the Civil Defense Centers for transport. The Quito family was sent to an internment camp in Heart Mountain, Wyoming. It was here that many detainees discovered the unique skills of Seiichi Quito.
People say, hey, Quito-san is out there making manju. You know, it was a delicacy because people were hungry and manju seemed to fit the occasion, you know. I think just before noon or something he'd open up and then it'd be all sold out and then you couldn't get the manju anymore.
It was at Heart Mountain that Roy met Kazuko Hamachi.
She was very attractive, you know, that time. So first thing, I was looking at all the college people went to university. That's a good job in the office.
While in camp, Roy courted Kazuko Hamachi, a farmer's daughter from West Covina. Then, in August 1945, they were married. After the war, as the Japanese Americans were being released, the War Relocation Authority encouraged them to move to other locations in the United States to minimize hostility, but there was never any question in Seiichi's and Roy's mind where they would be. They would return to Little Tokyo.
For my father's era, when they came back out of camp, to have to restart all over, I think that's something that a lot of people have actually overlooked, because if you realize prejudice at that time, coming out of camps, and financial hardships of coming back, to restart the store, that had to have been the hardest point.
Upon the family's return, Roy struggled to reestablish the family business.
We rent a small place, left all the people in there. So when I bought little by little, and after I came back, nothing. Because warehouse in my space, the door was broken, nothing there.
Things were so tough, the Quito family had to sleep in the Koyo-san temple while Roy worked as a waiter, making 20 cents an hour. But on Boys' Day, May 5th, 1946, the Quitos reopened Fugetsu Do on East 1st Street in a partnership with the Tanahashi family. During the following year, in 1947, Roy and Kazuko had their first child, Norman Quito. 2 years later, Luis Quito was born. And 2 years after that, Kathy Quito was born. On October 27, 1951, Seiichi Quito passed away, leaving Roy with managing and operating the store.
I think that nobody can make a Fugetsu Do here. So I'm the one. After I came back, I worked in flipping cafeteria, restaurants, all over I work, and they made the money. I asked my friends, I have about 5 friends, you know, and I told them I want to do the, you know, the little grocery store here, usually. I want to buy that place, but I got $300, but not enough, you know, about $300 more. I put down $600 down. As soon as I opened the name of Fugetsu Do company, all the other people came from Longi, Gandhian, and even San Diego people come too.
In 1955, the building Fugetsu Do occupied on 1st Street was slated for demolition, so they moved temporarily to 2nd Street. After 2 years, they moved back to East 1st Street at the original location, but somewhat bigger. The same year, Brian was born, almost 5 years to the day. Ironically, many believe Brian is a reincarnation of his grandfather, Seiichi, for he demonstrates many of his distinctive characteristics. During this move, Roy became the sole owner of Fugetsu Do. Uncle Nobu Masada did all his shelving work, and Bob Ames, a popular electrician in Little Tokyo, graciously did all the electrical work on credit. In 1957, Fugetsu Do reopened on 1st Street to popular success. Throughout the next 23 years, Roy and his family enjoyed a successful Japanese confectionery shop made possible by hard work and determination, and made Fugetsu Do a household name in Japanese-American homes. The store holds many memories of camaraderie and celebration during the annual New Year's mochi rush. The teamwork, dedication, and
That's 2 o'clock in the morning.
Roy and Kazuko had 2 sons and 2 daughters. All of them worked in the store at young ages, but as times changed and new exciting careers were opening for third-generation Japanese Americans, the chances of the siblings to take over the family business diminished. During all this time, Roy's youngest child, Brian, had helped his father making manju and became proficient in the intricate craft of mochi making. It became clear that Brian was talented and had the knack for this art. His father and his grandfather before him, Brian also possessed the pride and commitment to this close-knit community that he had grown up in. Brian didn't know at that time that he'd have to make an important decision in his future and if the family business would exist in the future.
And so when it came about time when I was graduating from college, I had been working here through college, and I'd asked my dad if he wanted me to stay, I would give him like 2 years if we could make a transition. Because growing up in your family business and with your father as the boss, it's not the easiest thing to do in the world. You know, I think that's one of the reasons why I didn't walk away from the store. I gave it a lot of patience as far as working with my dad. I didn't want to see it close either. And Dad had decided that if I didn't take over, he was going to close the store. He was not going to sell it. I'd asked him if he wanted to just go ahead and sell it. And he said no, because he said that Grandpa had made the store and it wasn't his to sell.
My son took over the store, and that's amazing. The happiest thing is that he took over my store.